Last week's intro got such a positive response, I decided to use it again. Keep It Comics is quickly becoming one of the most popular comic book channels on YouTube. And if you want to know why, meet me back here in the comic room. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Keep It Comics. The champ is here, and as always, I am your host, C3. Before I get started, I want to take the time to do what I always do, which is thank each and every one of you for stopping by and checking out the channel. I've got a beautiful video planned for you guys today. I got some books that I picked up for New Comic Book Day, and if you stick around to the end, I'll also show you what came in the mail. I got a beautiful AOK from one of the members of the comic book community that I would love to share with you. So you guys know the drill. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and definitely feel free to ring that bell. So every time I do a video, you wonderful people will get that notification. All right? So you know the routine. Check the nonsense at the door. Because it's good vibes only, people. We just here for the love of comics. Anything other than that, you got to figure it out. So, let's dive right on in. Coming in at number 1. This book was published by Marvel. It was released on January 19th of 2022. At number 10, we have She-Hulk, issue number 1. That beautiful Jim Bartel cover. I put this on the list, ladies and gentlemen, because right after New Comic Book Day, I watched the She-Hulk series on Disney Plus. I enjoyed it. I really like how they're portraying She-Hulk on the TV. I like how they have that little bit of humor in there. I like how they're bringing her character to life and they're adding that comedic value to it that they normally have with her in the comics. So I put this up there. I know she's got a She-Hulk number 1 out there with her first appearance, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about that light and fluffy, just good old-fashioned humor and a real down-to-earth comic. All right? She-Hulk, issue number 1, the Jim Bartel cover. Let's talk about it. All right? Now, the key factor to this book is there is none. It's strictly a cover buy for me. I like Jim Bartel's artwork. It always stands out. I like the color pattern that she's using. And if you guys have been watching the channel, you know that I like my yellow covers. All right. I love how how the other colors pop when you use that yellow on the inside as the background. All right. And I would love to have this comic in my collection so I can get it signed by her. All right. Now, let's talk numbers. The last recorded sale for this book was on September 14th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $15. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 0.68%, and the average sale for a CGC 9.8 being $57. The average sale for a raw copy is roughly about $9. There's been 279 raw copies that have sold and 45 graded copies of this book that have sold so far, giving us a grand total of 324 copies of this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market. Now, the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on July 28th of 2022, where that book sold for $125. Now, that's not bad. That's not a bad buy-in for Jim Bartel artwork at a 9.8. Now, fair market value has this book resting at $9 for a raw copy of this book in near mint condition. All right? So if you are in the market for She-Hulk issue number 1, the Jim Bartel regular cover, keep your eye out on this book because it's on the move. All right? Moving right along. Coming in at number 9, ladies and gentlemen, we have a book that was released on March 1st of 2008. It was published by Marvel. And the title of this book is Hulk, issue number 1, the Ed McGuinness newsstand version. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, at some point we have to see Red Hulk. This is the Red Hulk's first appearance of Thaddeus what is his name? Thaddeus Ross, right? Yeah, first appearance, Red Hawk, Thaddeus Ross, and the last recorded sale for this book was on August 3rd of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $200, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I myself have been watching this book for at least about a good 2.5 years. I remember when you could get a copy of this book for $50. I caught quite a few copies at around about the $15 to $20 mark. So I'm well stocked on this book. But just to see these numbers climb over such a short period of time with just this little bit of speculation of Red Hawk coming, it shows just like, yo, the comic book community believes in this book and people are really interested. All right. So the last recorded sale, like I said, was on August 3rd of 2022, where a raw copy sold for $200. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 1.32%. All right? The average sale for CGC 9.4 at the moment is about $400, while the average sale for a raw copy will run you roughly about 80 to 85 bucks. Now, the highest known sale for this book in a CGC 9.8 was back on August 8th of 2021, where that book sold for $1,225. That's not bad, right? Watching it go from those low numbers, it's climbing a little bit. All right, so listen, there's still opportunity for buy-in here. So fair market value has this book resting at $80 for a raw copy in near mint condition. So if you are in the market for Hawk issue number 1, that Ed McGuinness newsstand edition, keep your eye out on this book because it's on the move. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 8, we've got DC Comics on the list. Now, the title of this book is Superman Batman Annual, issue number 4, the second print. Yes, my friends, this book was released on July 21st of 2010. Now, the key factor to this book is, it is, and this is debatable. This has always been debatable. It's kind of like that Hawk 180, Hawk 181 thing. This is a debatable first appearance of Batman Beyond in a DC Universe continuity. All right? So just so we get that out there, it's debatable. Now, let's talk numbers. Last recorded sale for this book was on July 16th of 2022, where CGC 9.0 sold for $150. This book is currently trending upward at 1.44%. All right, so pay attention to these numbers because at the moment, the average sale for CGC 9.8 in this book is about $2,185. Average sale for a raw copy is $64. Now, there's been 24 raw copies that have sold and 18 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 42 copies of this particular book that has changed hands so far. Now check this out. The highest known sale was back in March 16th of 2022 when a CGC 9.8 sold for $3,075. That's not bad at all. So this book continues to rise and increase in value as well. Now, fair market value has this book resting at $64 for a raw copy that is in very fine condition. All right? So keep your eye out on this book because this book is on the move. One second. You know, ladies and gentlemen, good vibes only. I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the channel. I'm glad I'm the video of your choice for this evening. Please enjoy the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we back at it. Let's do it. This book, coming in at number 7. Publisher is St. John Publishing. It's golden age goodness, ladies and gentlemen. This book was released on February 1st, 1953. Yes, I know you can smell the paint, you can smell the color, you can smell it all. You can smell the oldie but goodie feel to it. It's just a beautiful smell. The title of this book is Weird Horrors, issue number 6. Now, yes, Weird Horrors, issue number 6. I have this up there for all my horror fans. I enjoy reading a good horror story myself. The beautiful thing about these books is they're always in demand, and you're going to be hard pressed to find a copy of this magnitude in a 9.8 or in a 9 point anything. So to find one of these books in good condition, man, it means you just struck gold. You have definitely got a four-leaf clover in your pocket. The last recorded sale for this book, for a book of this magnitude, was on August 10th of 2022, where a raw copy sold for $325. Now, there's an average sale for a CGC 5.5, right, of $1,600. So the beautiful thing about this book is mid to high grade, it's still obtainable. But the problem is collectors do not usually want to come off of a book like this. So that's why they're so difficult to get your hands on. The collectors that have these books, they don't usually get rid of them because they're such low print runs, they're such a valuable book to have in your collection, and they just continue to just increase in value over time. All right? So the average sale for a raw copy in this book is about $990. There's been 10 raw copies that have sold and just one graded copy that have sold, giving us a total of 11 copies of this book that has changed hands over the mark on the secondary market. Now, like I said, the highest known sale was back on February 6th of 2021, where CGC 5.5 sold for $1,600. But keep this in mind, if you want this book, fair market value has this book resting at $990 for a raw copy of this book that is in good condition. All right? So if you're in the market for weird horrors, issue number 6, keep your eye out on this book because it is on the move. It's moving, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in number 6. This book was published on February 1st, 1988. It's a Marvel book. The title of this book is The Incredible Hulk, issue number 340. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is that classic Todd McFarlane cover artwork. It's a must-have for anybody's collection, all right? So let's talk about it. Last recorded sale was on September 14th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $115. Now, I have this book in my collection. I'm just not sure how many copies I have. Maybe I'll dig and try to get a count on it, but this is a book that I would like to have at least 2 to 3 copies of this book, just for my own personal reasons, right? Now, this book is currently trending upward at 59.77%. The average sale for a CGC 9.6 in this book is about $470. All right? The average sale for a raw copy of this book is $159. There's been 1,359 copies of raw copies that have sold, but there has been 641 graded copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 2,000 copies of this book that has changed hands so far on the secondary market. Ladies and gentlemen, check the numbers because this is a very popular book at the moment. And as these prices continue to rise, like, you might want to try to get your hands on one before, it just creeps up a little bit more. So I'm not telling you how to spend your money or where to spend your money. I'm just saying that if you're interested in this book, it's on the rise. So just pay attention to it. Me personally, I like to catch things on the way down. But for those of you who really wanted to have this book in your collection, pay attention. All right? Now, the highest known sale for this book was back on May 27th of 2021, where CGC 9.8 sold for $2,500. Again, not bad. A little steep for me at the moment, but not bad at all. All right? Now, fair market value has this book resting at $159 for a raw copy of this book that is in very fine condition. All right? So, if you want to have this book in your collection, keep your eye out on this book because it is on the move. All right? This is a popular comic book, my peoples. This is a popular comic book, so keep your eye out on it. All right? Yes, gotta keep that vibe juice coming. All right, peoples, we've made it to the halfway mark. So, before I go any further, allow me to do what I always do at this time, which is stop, take a deep breath, and thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by, checking out the channel. Thank you for your love and your support. Thank you for your encouraging comments. Thank you for making Keep It Comics one of the most popular and most watched channels on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. And shout out to Brooklyn 718. Shout out to Brooklyn, baby. I feel you. It is what it is. Listen, this comic book that I'm about to mention to you guys is coming in at number 5. All right? So, it was released on March 1st, 1974. It's Bronze Age goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Released by Marvel. The title of this book is Tomb of Dracula, issue number 18. It is the first battle between Dracula and Werewolf by Night. Now, here it is. The reason I put this book on the list is because when I was younger, I used to watch Abbott and Costello. So when they did the Abbott and Costello joint where they had the werewolf, they had Dracula, they had the mummy, when they had Frankenstein, when they had all of those characters, that was my first introduction to all the ghouls. You know what I mean? So, and I've been hooked on them ever since. So I thought this would be a dope book to be able to add to my collection. That first fight. You know what I mean? Because when you saw it on Abbott and Costello, that's what it reminds me of. Leave a comment in the comment section if you remember that, man. The joint where Abbott and Costello and them was going at it with all the monsters as they was running around the house all night long. All right? So, let's talk numbers, man. The last recorded sale for this book was on September 10th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $66. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 64.82%. The average sale for CGC 9.4 in this book is $281, while the average sale for a raw copy is about $105. All right? So, there's been 289 raw copies that have sold and 40 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 329 copies of this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market. And it continues to move. And I anticipate this book is going to keep going up because this is a classic book to have in your collection. All right? So, all the while, the highest known sale was back in November 1st of 2021, where CGC 9.8 sold for $1,920. Yes, $1,920 for this book in the CGC 9.8 back in 2021. All right, so fair market value has this book resting at $105 for a raw copy that is in very fine condition. So if you are in the market for Tomb of Dracula, issue number 18, the first battle between Werewolf by Night and Dracula, keep your eye out on this book because it is on the move. All right? Coming in at number 4, ladies and gentlemen, this book was published by Marvel. This is some Silver Age goodness. We're going to step it up a little bit. This book was released on June 1st, 1968. The title of this book is Doctor Strange, issue number 169. Yes, and I have a couple copies of this one as well, but it continues to rise on the secondary market, and I just keep watching it because I want to see where it's going to go. I want to see where this is going to level off at. But at the moment, and just so you know, the key factor to this book is it is the first solo series of Doctor Strange. All right, so I want to see where this book is going to level out at. But right now, here's what the specs look like. The last recorded sale was on September 12th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $2,499. All right? This book is trending upward with a 64.43% increase in sales. And that is not bad at all. That's significant gains, right? So that's why I keep my eye on this book because it's moving. All right? Now, the average sale for a CGC 8.5 in this book is $836, while the average sale for a raw copy is $268. Now, there's been 568 raw copies that have sold, and there's been 383 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 951 copies of this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market. So, and keep this in mind because this is important. Back in April 9th of 2022, they had a high sale for CGC 9.8 of $21,600. Holy smokes, Batman. Yes, 21 grand, $21,600 for CGC 9.8. That was back on April 9th of 2022. But for those of us who like that low-hanging fruit, fair market value has this book resting at $268 for a raw copy of this book that is in fine condition. So if you're in the market for Doctor Strange issue number 169, keep your eye out on this book because it's on the move. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. We made it, Ma. Top of the world. We have made it. Yes, we made it to the number 3. The 3 hottest comic books of the week. The 3 hottest comics on the secondary market of the week. All right. Bronze Age goodness. It was released on July 1st, 1971. This is for all my Fantastic Four fans. This is classic Hulk versus the Thing. Fantastic Four, issue number 112. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Hulk versus the Thing. Now, check the numbers out on this baby right here. On September 13th, 2022, a raw copy sold for $85. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, with a 72.23% increase in sales on the secondary market. The average sale for CGC 8.5 is roughly about $750, and the average sale for a raw copy of this book is about $187. There's been 602 raw copies that have sold, but there's also been 200 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 802 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. All right? So back in November 15th of 2017, there was a high sale for CGC 9.8 of $6,300. Okay? Fair market value has this book resting at $187 for a raw copy of this book that is in fine condition. So if you are in the market for Fantastic Four, issue number 112, the regular edition, classic Hulk versus the Thing, gotta have this in your collection. Keep your eye out on this book because it is definitely on the move. All right? Moving right along. We're going to keep the bus moving, ladies and gentlemen, because I got some things I want to show you at the end. You stick around at the end. I got some comics that I picked up I want to show you. I'll show you the A-OK, and I'll also show you what came in the mail. I don't mind. If you got time, I got time. It is what it is. It's what we do. All right? Coming in at number 2. Some more Silver Age goodness. This book was released on April 9th, 1963. Now, I watched the trailer, Spider-Man, I watched the New Home. Yep, Spider-Man, New Home. So, I was curious. It made me go check this book out. Published by Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 3. First appearance of Dr. Octopus. Now, even though I did not see him in the trailer, when I saw Venom up there, for those of you who haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. Ain't nothing new. I ain't spoiling nothing. When I saw Venom up there, I said, I wonder who else they're going to have up there. So I just thought it might be interesting if they somehow worked in some of his old bad guys into this movie, which made me just go check back on Doc Ock. All right? So, Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 3, first appearance of Doc Octopus. Here's the numbers on this book. September 12th of 2022, a raw copy of this book sold for $2,150. Right? That's a raw copy. This book is currently trending upward, my friends, at 87.72%. Now, the average sale for a CGC 3.5 in this book is $3,200. right? It's classic Spider-Man. And you know, the further we get into these story arcs, the more the older books are going to rise in value. Okay? So, the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $807. There's been 229 raw copies that have sold, but there's also been 379 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 599 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. Now, the last high sale for this book was back in 2017 of November 16th, all right, where CGC 9.6 sold for $47,800. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a couple dollars. All right, now $47,800 for CGC 9.8 back in November 16th of 2017. I can't really say, but there's a possibility that there could be some wiggle room there. If your negotiation game is tight, you may be able to get that down a little bit. I say good luck to you, man. But I can't afford that right now. So I would have to go after some of that low-hanging fruit, because fair market value has this book resting at $807 for a raw copy that is either in fair or poor condition. And I don't mind a book in fair condition. In my opinion, low grade is better than no grade. Yes, low grade is better than no grade. I buy what I could afford, and I buy what I like. So, you know, if I purchase a book and it's not that 9.8 or whatever, if it's a lower grade, you know, low to mid, depending on what it is, it's my book. I like it. I feel good about it. I'm happy to have it. I'm satisfied. And in my book, that's all that matters. All right? So, if you are in the market for Amazing Spider-Man issue number 3, first appearance of Doc Ock, keep your eye out on this book, because it is on the move. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the number 1 hottest comic book of the week. Silver Age book. It was released on July 1st, 1966. It was published by Marvel. Now, the title of this book is Tales of Suspense, issue number 79. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first appearance, Cosmic Cube. First appearance of Cosmic Cube. Yo, but it's also when Tony Stark's, they took Tony Stark's money, closed all his factories, and left him dead broke with nowhere to turn. Yeah, so a very good issue, a very precise issue to have in your collection. When you talk about collecting Tales of Suspense, this is a book that you definitely want to have, because it completes the story run of a very good story. All right, so check this out. Here's the numbers on this book. The last recorded sale was on September 12th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $432. That's what piqued my interest right there. That sparked my interest. And it continued to peak as I read the numbers. Now, this book is trending upward at 110.12%, right? The average sale for CGC 9.0 is $408. So, in my world, that's not bad. That's a near mint book, right? Just breaking near mint, right? High grade that I can catch for about 4 and some change. Now, I always talk about your negotiation game got to be tight, right? There's a possibility that I can get this book for a little less. I would love to have this book in my collection. And here's some more information on it, if any of you are interested, right? So the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $20. Okay? A raw copy of this book you can catch for probably about $20 if you know what you're doing. All right? Now, there's been 189 raw copies that have sold so far and 23 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 212 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. All right? Now, back on December 13th of 2020, there was a CGC 9.6 high sale of $1,920. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. $1,920 for CGC 9.6 that sold back in December of 2020. Okay? Now, fair market value has this book resting at $20 for a raw copy of this book that is in very fine to fine condition. Alright? So, if you are in the market for Tales of Suspense, issue number 79, keep your eye out on this book because it's on the move and it's going to continue to go up in value. So try to grab it while you can. Alright? Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I have given you your list. However you execute, it's up to you. But I encourage you, be careful. Take your time. Make wise decisions. Don't jump out of the airplane without your parachute. These books go up, but they also come down. They cycle constantly. So you don't have to lose your shirt just to get your hands on one of these comics. Alright? So have fun. The hobby is supposed to be fun. There should be no pressure. You shouldn't be losing anything just to add one of these books to your collection. Alright? Alright. So, for those of you who stuck around, as promised, I'll share with you some books that I picked up last week, and then I'll show you, I'll show you what I got this week, and then I'll show you what I grabbed from last week. All right? So, let's do it. I appreciate you guys hanging around. All right? So, the first book I want to show you was from Image, and this is King Spawn, issue number 14. Alright, and I'm going to run through these fairly quick because there's so many of them. The next book I want to show you is Batman vs. Robin, issue number 1, and this is that Middleton cover. And I read this story. This is a great story. Damian goes super hard at Batman, and they get a visit from an old friend. Unexpected visit, too. Unexpected person, too. Alright? So, good story. This one is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 9. I read this one too. Just a fun read, quick read. Fun, quick, easy. Kind of the usual. Superman and Wolverine. We got Venom, issue number 10. Just constantly collecting Venom. I'm going to grab whatever comes out from Venom. I grabbed the second copy. We got Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, issue number 3. Shout out to the homie, Rod the Rican, from Just the Rican and his comics. Turned me on to Chip Zdarsky Daredevil. Shout out to you, Rod. Hope you're well. I grabbed Edge of Spider-Verse, issue number 1. This is a second print. Check that out. Second print. If you guys didn't know it was out there, it's out there. Make sure you get your hands on that. I grabbed Edge of Spider-Verse, issue number 3. She's been all the rave. Everybody's talking about Night Spider. Black Cat turning into Night Spider. Grab the copy of that. Edge of Spider-Verse, issue number 3. This is the 1 in 10. The design copy. I also grabbed Midnight Suns, issue number 1. New team. Midnight Sun, issue number 1. The design variant, fire. Literally. Yeah, that's dope. Straight fire. I grabbed Miss Marvel and Venom. Yo, I like the team in here. I like this team. Miss Marvel. Who else is it? Let me take a peek real quick. Miss Marvel, Venom, Dylan Brock. Oh, Miss Marvel, right? Camilla Khan, and Venom, Dylan Brock. I like that team up. That's not bad at all. Dylan Brock as Venom. That's going to be interesting. And you know I had to grab that yellow cover. Yes. Beautiful. It's beautiful. What is that, velvet? All right. From Kevin Smith, we got Masquerade. Put out by Dark Horse. I didn't get an opportunity to read it yet, but I will. This is one that I did get a chance to read. And shout out to the OG Jim Comics. This was his recommendation. 10,000 Black Feathers. This is the first cover. All right. This is the second cover. This cover is just fire. Look at that. The two crows. The crows at the top. Yeah, this is dope. It's got a decent story too. And this is the third cover. Love this cover. It's nice. And I also ordered another whole set to add to my collection. All right? So, that's what I grabbed for New Comic Book Day. Now, I will show you guys what came in the mail, and I'll show you in the AOK. Well, I'll show you in AOK and what I picked up, but then at the end, I'll show you what came in the mail. All right? Let me just move these out of the way so I don't damage them. Put them here. All right? So, this also was another recommendation. All right? So, I went and grabbed it. I was watching, and it's no secret, I watch Jim Comics, as a lot of us do. So he recommended this book. But there was another variant that I saw, and I grabbed it. So I grabbed Minor Threats from Dark Horse, issue number 1, right? Minor Threats. I grabbed this variant also, right? Well, I think this is the cover A. Cover A, cover B. Right? But then there was this gold letter variant here. Right? I don't know if many people were aware of that. Leave a comment in the comment section if everybody knew about that. Alright? I don't know if you saw this one, Jim. You might want to grab it. All right. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. All right. I also grabbed from DC, Batman, One Bad Day, Riddler, issue number 1, being written by Tom King. Definitely happy to add this to my collection. I had to grab All Out Avengers, issue number 1, the Blade, the Scotty Young artwork on that yellow background. Fire. Definitely. All right. So these next two books I want to show you. This was the AOK. This was a book that was given to me by a member of the comic book community. So I want to shout out the homie City. Appreciate you, man. City AOK'd me Static, issue number 1 and 2. I thought that was pretty nice, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. All right. Nice to have to add to the collection. City, thank you very much. Appreciate you. That's keeping it comics, man. That's keeping it comics. All right? Thank you. So, I was up in New York, right? So, I saw this on the shelf. I had to have it. And I'm talking about Dr. Doom, issue number 1. That's Salvador Larocco, second print. Yo, when I saw that, I was like, dude, let me get that. He was like, yeah, it's going to cost. I don't care what it costs. Let me get that. Let me get that. Just bring that to me. Got it. I got it, baby. That's Salvador Larocco. That artwork is fire, too. That Doom cover is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Dope. Got it. All right. Now, last but not least, shout out to the homie One Shot Comic, man. One Shot Comics. I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you. I saw what you put on your wall the other day, so I had to show you what I grabbed. Omega Man, issue number 3, first appearance of Lobo. Oh, definitely. I had to have it. It's a must-have. Near mint condition. Corners sharp as a razor. No dents, no nothing. Yes. Don't sleep on DC. DC's getting a bad rap right now. But at the end of the day, this is well worth it, man. Because they'll be back. DC's going to get it together. Watch what I tell you. And we're going to see the main man eventually. He's coming. Word to everything. All right? So, those are the books that I grabbed. But, before you go, I've got one more book. This one came in the mail. Let's see what this baby is. All right? I like doing unboxings for the comic book community. All right? So, listen. You guys know the routine. Cue the music, but keep your clothes on. Alright? Let's see if we can get in here. Yeah, I had a good week, man. I had a good week. And I'm going to have an even better weekend. Going to hang out at my cabin, hang out with the family, just chillax, fall back, read comics while enjoying Mother Nature. The good life. Here we go. Just so you know, this is how it came. Alright? First time I ever got one like this. Interesting. Now, I gotta not get all the flakes all over the place. I don't want to be cleaning up. Alright, I got a couple on the floor. Not too bad though. Can't complain. It came safely, so I'm not gonna complain. Alright. Move these pieces of tape out of the way. Couple pieces got on the floor, but it's all good. Alright. Now, got my scissors. I'm gonna hit this rivet. Okay. One more. Okay. Okay. That's as far as I'm gonna go as far as trying to open it. I'll just show it to you guys. And when I'm done with the video, I can really focus on getting it out of there without hurting anything. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely happy to have this. I have in my hands Marvel Comic Group, The Man Called Nova, issue number 1. Yeah. Happy to have it. Happy to have it. Yeah. Yeah, you know I'm preparing for the phases, baby. I'm preparing for the phases. I know you guys are like, C3, whatever. You should have been had that in your collection. I know. I actually think I have it in my collection. I just have to check. But it was a good price. I couldn't pass it up. So I grabbed it. Of course I did. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's all my time. Those are all the books that I have to show you today. Listen, thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the channel. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for inviting me into your home. Thank you for allowing me to share my love of comics and the hobby with you and your family. I appreciate you. Leave an encouraging comment in the comment section. I don't mind chopping it up with you guys. Gives me something to do. All right? Listen. The champ is here. You know what I always say? Don't hate. Congratulate. Show some love. Because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, when you see me, yo, you gotta keep it comics, B. Later, Gators. You know what it is.